The narrative nexus was created by analyzing various storytelling structures and identifying common elements contributing to a cohesive and engaging narrative. I sought to capture the essential components that form the backbone of a story and provide a framework for authors to structure their storytelling effectively. I also wanted to ensure that my created structure would be available under a Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike 4.0 license. To create the narrative nexus, I examined 10 popular story structure methods. I identified recurring patterns and key milestones within these structures that contribute to a well-rounded narrative. I then crystallized the essential components into a list of 12 elements. Element 1. World Introduction. The world introduction is the opening phase of the story, where readers are introduced to the world, its inhabitants, and the established norms. This section establishes the setting, characters, relationships, and overall atmosphere. It gives readers a sense of the normal state of affairs before anything disrupts the status quo. Element 2. Disruption Event. The disruption event is the pivotal incident that disrupts the status quo in the story. It introduces conflict, change, or an unexpected event that propels the protagonist into action. This event is the inciting incident, sparking the narrative and setting the story's events in motion. Element 3. Adventure Acceptance. Adventure. Acceptance is the point in the narrative where the protagonist, after initial reluctance or hesitation, accepts the call to adventure. They commit to facing the challenges ahead and embark on their journey, embracing the unknown and the transformative experiences that lie ahead. Element 4. Alliance Formation and Initial Challenges. In this phase, the protagonist begins their journey and encounters allies who will support them in overcoming obstacles. These alliances are essential for the protagonist's growth and success. Together, they face initial challenges that test their resolve and pave the way for personal development. Element 6. Relationship. Deepening relationship. Deepening is a phase in the narrative where the protagonist's relationships with other characters grow and evolve. This includes romantic subplots, friendships, mentorships, or familial bonds. These deepened relationships add emotional depth, complexity, and stakes to the story. Element 7. Major confrontation and setback. The major confrontation and setback is a critical point in the narrative where the protagonist directly confronts the central conflict or antagonist, but experiences failure or a significant setback. This moment serves as a crisis point, pushing the protagonist to their lowest point and creating a sense of urgency and heightened stakes. Element 8. Reflection Period. The reflection period is a phase in the narrative where the protagonist reflects and introspects following a major setback or failure. During this time, they evaluate their actions, learn from their experiences, and better understand their personal or external conflict. The reflection period often leads to significant character growth. Element 9. Final Showdown. The final showdown is the climactic phase in the narrative where the protagonist, armed with newfound understanding and growth, confronts the main conflict or antagonist for the last time. This confrontation leads to a resolution of the conflict and the achievement of the protagonist's goal. Element 10. Transformation and Return. The transformation and return stage marks the end of the protagonist's journey. The protagonist returns to their ordinary world after achieving their goal and resolving the conflict. However, they are transformed by their experiences, undergoing significant personal growth. They are no longer the same person they were at the story's beginning. Element 11. Closing Snapshot. The closing snapshot is the final scene of the narrative, providing closure and offering a glimpse into the aftermath of the protagonist's journey. It allows readers to witness the changes in the protagonist and their world since the beginning, offering a sense of satisfaction and completion to the story. Element 12. Theme, Echo. The theme. Echo is the last element of the narrative nexus, emphasizing the story's underlying theme. It serves as a reflection and reminder of the deeper meaning and purpose of the story. It echoes throughout the narrative, reinforcing the story's message and leaving a lasting impression on readers. I list it as Element 12, but it's not a distinct beat in the novel like the other ones. Instead, theme echo is part of the novel and should be integrated consistently. The conclusion should definitely emphasize the theme one last time. I've taken the narrative nexus and applied it to a range of popular genres: romance, historical romance, contemporary romance, high fantasy, urban fantasy, magical realism, space opera, middle grade, young adult dystopian, religious-themed, paranormal woman's fiction, basic thriller, psychological thriller, action-adventure, and cozy mystery. I realize this list is far from exhaustive. Still, I hope the list provides a basic understanding of the narrative nexus and how it can be applied to various literary genres. Please check out the print book for how I applied the narrative nexus to the different genres. Narrative nexus in a story. Now that you have a general understanding of the power of the narrative nexus and how it can improve your storytelling, here is a simple guide for applying this structure to short stories, novellas, and full-length novels. Now, these are general guides, not ideas set in stone. Remember, any narrative structure must have some flexibility to be helpful. However, varying too far from the general structure can lead to a story leaving readers unfulfilled by your story. 5-chapter. Short story. 1. Chapter 1. World Introduction and Disruption Event. World Introduction, Disruption Event. 2. Chapter 2. Adventure Acceptance and Alliance Formation. Adventure Acceptance, Alliance Formation. 3. Chapter 3. Perspective Shift and Relationship Deepening. Perspective Shift, Relationship Deepening. 4. Chapter 4. Major Confrontation and Setback. Major Confrontation, Setback. 5. Chapter 5. Reflection and Resolution. Reflection, Resolution Theme. Echo. 10. Chapter Short Story. 1. Chapter 1. World Introduction and Disruption Event. World Introduction, Disruption Event. 2. Chapter 2. Adventure Acceptance and Alliance Formation. Adventure Acceptance, Alliance Formation. 3. Chapter 3. Perspective Shift and Relationship Deepening. Perspective Shift, Relationship Deepening. 4. Chapter 4. Major Confrontation and Setback. Major Confrontation, Setback. 5. Chapter 5. Reflection and Reevaluation. Reflection, Reevaluation. 6. Chapter 6. New Allies and Complications. Alliance Formation, Complications. 7. Chapter 7. Uncovering Secrets and Escalating Tension. Revelation, Tension. 8. Chapter 8. Rising Stakes and Challenging Obstacles. Challenges, Rising Stakes. 9. Chapter 9. Gathering Strength and Formulating a Plan. Preparation, Planning. 10. Chapter 10. Climactic Showdown, Resolution, and Closing Snapshot. Climax, Resolution, Closing Snapshot. Long-form story format for the narrative nexus, 25 chapters. 1. Chapters 1 to 2, World Introduction and Disruption. Event. 2. Chapters 3 to 4, Adventure Acceptance and Alliance Formation. 3. Chapters 5 to 6, Perspective Shift and Relationship Deepening. 4. Chapters 7-8, Major Confrontation and Setback. Chapters 9 to 10, Reflection and Reevaluation. 6. Chapters 11-12, New Allies and Complications. 7. Chapters 13 to 14, Uncovering Secrets and Escalating Tension. 8. Chapters 15 to 16, Rising Stakes and Challenging Obstacles. 9. Chapters 17 to 18, Gathering Strength and Formulating a Plan. 10. Chapters 19-20, Climactic Showdown and Crisis Point. 11. Chapters 21 to 22, Confronting the Enemy and Overcoming Obstacles. 12. Chapters 23 to 24, Resolution and Final Showdown. 13, Chapter 25, Transformation, Return, Closing Snapshot, and Theme Echo. So, the next time you're plotting or editing a work of fiction, I hope you consider using the narrative nexus to guide you. The Narrative Nexus, a step-by-step guide to crafting. Engaging Narratives is the first book in my free writing craft series titled Ink to Impact, the Writing Craft Series. Other books include topics on writing a novel in 30 days, world building, writing a romance novel, and writing a cozy mystery. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Narrative Nexus.